So this is not the usual way I start a plan with me. Unfortunately, I wanted to show you guys why. Usually when I record a plan with me, I have multiple files just because I do talk for a while. And as you can see, the first file here, for some reason, is corrupt. Well, not corrupt, but it recorded itself as a DAT file, which is just a generic data file. And I try to convert it into a MP4 file, which is the video file. It's not working. I haven't figured a way out, and I really want to get this video out. I considered just trashing this video altogether and just ignoring it and moving on to something else, but I think for the most part it's pretty salvageable because the next video kind of starts on a Monday as I start planning, and really the part you miss is me just talking about the kit and doing all the parts, doing all the template parts like the bottom strip and the activity boxes and stuff like that. So I figured maybe it'd be okay if we just skip over that and move on right onto Monday. But the whole time I'm catching you guys up on what's happened in my life so far. So I want to give you a little bit of context before we jump right into the video. Basically, I'm just updating you guys. I think where I left off in this part is that I have recently sat for what is called the JLPT. It's a Japanese language proficiency test that is actually issued from Japan in different countries. They run it twice a year, and so I sat for the entry-level exam with Tobias, and I did that about a week after coming back from Europe. So I kind of talk about landing in Europe and having like a week to study for the test and all that sort of stuff. So yeah. Now you're caught up, now you know what I'm talking about, let's get right into the video. Yeah, it was really just more of a way to see where my skill set was so I could kind of figure out if I was progressing well or not. So I landed on a Saturday, as you guys saw, and then that whole week I was studying so hard. To be honest, the previous week when I was still in Athens, me and Tobias had been studying. So Tobias and I are doing the exam together, or did the exam together, and we were just cramming super hard, just trying to make sure that we understood everything, watching tons of videos, and I think we did okay. I know Tobias did really well because he's always very good at this sort of stuff. But I'm pretty, I'm not too worried. I feel like I at least assume I've passed, so I'm happy with that, you know, aim high in life. So, went well, but we had to actually, so we landed on a Saturday, had the week to study, although we were back at work obviously, and then the next Saturday we flew up to Canberra because the exams, if you want to do JLPT mid-year in Australia, right now you have to either go to Brisbane or Canberra. Like, they don't host them in Melbourne itself, which is a little bit annoying because obviously it's just not as easy as just driving into the city or to the university and then taking the exam. You have to actually fly. So the exam was on a Sunday, and we just didn't want to worry about timing or missing anything, so we flew up on a Saturday and spent the night there, and then just wandered across to Australian University, which is NAU, which is Australian National University, which is like one of the bigger universities in Canberra, and sat for the exam. I think I did okay. And we won't find out till like September, so it's gonna be a long time, and I'll probably even forget about it by that time, but I'm glad I sat for it. I'm not really sure if I would do the other ones up until maybe N2 or N1. Just because none of them are actually prerequisites to each other, so you can skip the grades. And the thing about Japanese is that I'm learning Japanese because I want to be fluent in it. I want to be able to watch movies, speak, read books, that sort of thing. And I don't feel like the JLPT exam actually tests for that. Like, the studies that you have to do don't encourage you to actually be super fluent because it's all multi-choice, so you can totally guess, and there's no area where there's no part of the exams, even for the advanced ones, where you actually have to speak and have a conversation or write an essay or anything like that. So I kind of don't feel like, I just kind of feel like I wouldn't be getting what I want out of it if I was just focusing on the exams rather than focusing on reading more and watching movies. So I'm still not sure if I want to do them. I can see the benefit to them for someone like me who maybe, like, I struggle to stay motivated to study often unless I have like an impending like deadline or something like that. So I could see it for that, and so for that reason I'm considering still doing them, just because it kind of forces me to keep up with my studies and stay on track. But yeah, I'm not super sure. I'm just trying to figure out how I fit. So yeah, that was the first week I got back, And then after that, it was kind of like a whirlwind. So Tobias and I are looking to buy a place, and we've been house hunting, home hunting, whatever you want to call it, for quite a while now. And because our requirements are so strict, it's always very hard to find something that's suited to our needs. And a couple things came up literally in the last 2 weeks, and I think we've bidded at probably 3 or 4 auctions by now. And we usually always get outbidded. Like, that's always how we lose. Some people just have more money and they're willing to pay more. So, and that's fine. That's just how the market works. But this weekend, yes, actually it was just yesterday. I'm like trying to remember what happened. But the last 2 weeks we've been just like, especially Tobias, have been going around like with a headless chook, just trying to gather all the documents we need, talk to our conveyancer, lawyers, going to the banks, building inspections, just like, it's a whole thing. If you guys have bought a home before, or you've been through that process before, you know how stressful it is, especially when you're working full-time and you can't really take time off work, and weekends most places are closed. So it's stressful, but we manage to, and we do it every single time we know we want to buy a place, because you have to, because it's a home. Well, we got to the auction, so we finally got everything sorted. Like literally Friday afternoon is when everything finalized. Friday night actually, because that was the last time we checked the property, and we were happy with it, and we were like, okay, this is it. We're gonna go for it. Cool. So we got to the auction, and I'm always so nervous when it comes to this stuff like that, which is why I'm so glad Tobias is there, because he is able to manage that a lot better than me. I'm just like nervous wreck. And we start bidding, and we actually win, in the sense that we were the highest bidder. No one else outbidded us. Outbidded us? I don't know if that's a term. But like, yeah, no one else outbid us. And so I was super happy, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's actually happening. We bought a place. It's going to be amazing. And it wasn't, because what happened in the end is that, so we had to go in. It got essentially passed in. We went through the negotiations, and the reserve price that they had specified, the reserve price of the vendor was actually 10% higher than the specified price on the listing. So we'd been basing all our finances off what we saw in the listing, because that made sense. And we bidded, and we landed like right, we landed in the range of the bidding. So we figured, okay, if they want to negotiate, it's probably just on the higher end of the range, which sucks, but we were prepared for it, because that's what we expect. You kind of plan to what the real estate agent tells you the range will be. But it's not true. If the reserve is 10% over what they specify, then it's kind of impossible at that point to really, like, I can't just magically come up with 10% more. That's just not how money works, unfortunately. So that was really disheartening. I'm actually surprisingly okay now, even though it's not actually been that long, since it's just a day. But I think I'm just like a bit numb to it at the moment. Maybe that's why. So I'm just kind of like, whatever, just moving right along. But yeah, so that takes us today, and now I'm feeling like so I just feel like the last few weeks have been a bit of a weird cloud that I've been sitting in, that I haven't really been able to get out of. And after yesterday, now that that's out of the way, well, in a bad way, I guess, because obviously we really wanted to buy something, and it just sucks that, like I said, it's one thing if you get outbidded by other vendors. I mean, sorry, it's one thing if you get outbidded by other buyers, because it just means that the property is desirable and people want it, and that's fine. Like, no, like, sucks, but no issue whatsoever. But when I feel like we got tricked in that sense, like, had they told us that their minimum purchase price was not even in the range, we wouldn't have spent all that time looking, we wouldn't have spent all that time researching and talking to lawyers and all that sort of stuff. Like, it was a total waste of time and money in the end. So that really bums me out. But the more I talk to people and read up about it, it feels like that's just how real estate works, which it's so disheartening. Like, it makes me just not want to buy anything at all. And I guess we don't really have to, because at least we do have a home to live in, but we were always just looking to like upgrade and stuff like that. So I don't know, it just sucks. I think I feel more bad for Tobias, because he did a lot of work to get there. Oops. But it is what it is, and I'll just try and get over it and work past it. Yeah, it's just one of those things. I think it's just going to take some time to get over it, and then I don't know, I guess we'll just have to reconsider our options and see if we want to keep pursuing it. I don't know. right after it happens, you really just don't want to bother buying a house at all. You're just like, nope, that's it, I'm done, I don't want to do it. And we've been doing it for so long now, so I can kind of understand why we'd be kind of over it. But at the same time, once you recover from that whole experience, then you kind of gain that motivation back again to like start looking and start hunting. So we'll see, hopefully things will work out. And I just realized I am now on the weekend. Just kind of talked you guys through everything that was happening, but that's pretty much what's happened since coming back from Europe. And I think now that all that is over, I just want to spend time focusing on the things that make me happy, like doing videos for you guys, working on content, working on the sticker shop, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, gotta try and have a positive mindset. So this week is pretty chill in comparison to all our other weeks. I feel like all our other weeks have been crazy. We've been like going out to see friends. Is that straight? Yeah, straight. Maybe I'll just adjust it. We've been going out to see friends. We've obviously been like house inspecting, talking to banks, going to Canberra. So I feel like now things are starting to slow down, wind down a little bit, and we can just like take a second to relax, which is good because I really just want to have some time at home to just focus and not move about so much. The thing about traveling, and I was a lot more like when I was younger, I loved the movement of travel, like the whole having to go here and take a plane here and everything was exciting to me. Like it was so exciting. And I don't know whether it's just because I'm getting old. I have no idea, but it's like a lot less exciting for me now. I just want to be home. I just want to like relax, be in my own space. So I still love to travel, but I think the way I'm traveling is going to change a little bit, where I might just go to one place and just stay there for a while rather than like in 2 weeks try and visit 14 places. That's like, it's way too stressful for me. Oh, I've got brunch. All right. I've got to put a half box up here then. So I'm just looking forward to chilling and being at home more now. Thursday, I've still got Japanese classes. I'm still going to keep doing classes. I feel like I want to do classes for at least another few years before I kind of get to a point where I'm comfortable to learn on my own. Because I don't think, I'm really not at a point where I think I could learn on my own without having a ton of questions. So I'm going to keep those lessons up. But this weekend itself is pretty okay. I've got a working bee session, which is just, I think I mentioned to you guys, I'm like working on some apps with some friends just on the side. So I'm going to do that on Saturday night, focus, like dedicate some time to that. And then on Sunday, I have brunch with some friends who I haven't seen in a while now. And I'm looking forward to catching up with them and just seeing what's what. I'm going to put my to-do sticker here. Will it fit? It will just fit. I'm going to overlap it just a bit so I have a little bit of that white space, because I kind of like having a tiny bit of white space spread out throughout my spreads. And I will put this blue one here. But yeah. So those are all the weeks done, although I feel like I need something here. This feels like kind of blank. I wonder if I can move that up. Maybe that would help. I don't know how removable these stickers are, but let's give it a shot. Seems okay. Alright. It's just curled, but it's okay. So I'm just going to move it up instead. And then do that. Okay. And then under it, I'm just going to put this. There we go. I don't know. I feel like that just looks a little bit more variant, like different. And yeah, okay, I'm gonna move on to the sidebar. I want to leave this blank because I've got like, I want to do like a motivation sort of like the week has started sort of thing. So this one, so I've got the quote box, Hello Winter. So I'm gonna put that in the top corner. Go. And I'll put some habit trackers down. Okay, I need to put a hydration sticker, except a lot of kits don't have hydration stickers, so I'm just going into like my little scraps folder, into the hydration section, and just seeing what I can pull out. I mean, I've got a lot of these blue ones, but I feel like the blue doesn't really match this kit, and I don't know, I'm not a huge fan of having like a ton of mismatch, that's right, English Celina, mismatch stickers. I don't know, now that I'm like really into the kits and stuff, I like things to be cohesive, which is a big reason why I think people use kits, because then it's like everything matches and it looks nice, and I don't have anything. So I don't know, maybe I'll just leave hydration. I might track it in my bullet journal this week, see how I go. It's fine. Instead, I'm going to do my step count. Just put that down there. There we go. And then I'm not really sure how to fill this bottom section out. I think actually I'm going to try doing something for next week. Like in terms of just making sure, just more like taking notes of things that I might need to be aware of for next week. I don't usually do that, but I usually have post-it notes that I use and I stick all over the place. So I'll see if it works better if I put something down here. And then I'll have a little bit of strips. This is gonna work. There we go. Put this there. I'm just trying to think what else I can talk to you guys about that's been happening. I think I'm just like very focused on what has recently happened, so I haven't really been able to project in the future yet. It just feels a bit like I wasn't expecting so many things to happen when I got back. I figured that I'd come back, it'd be kind of a break, and I would just ease back into normal life, but I feel like a lot of things have caught me off guard. Things have just been thrown at me, and so it's just taking a little bit of time to settle back down into normal life and not feel like too stressed out. So I've pretty much finished the spread. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep rolling, but I'm just gonna like put on all the extra stickers I need, and then I'll come back and talk you guys through it. Okay, so this is the final spread. It feels nice and wintry. I love this kit. I love the colors, and I love actually planning with Me's again. It's so nice and so much fun. I didn't change a whole lot. So this laptop sticker is from Nightingale Paper Co, just to kind of mark the start of the week. And I just wrote a few things. This one is from Lily Pink Prints, which I think is, the shop doesn't exist anymore, but I still have so many stickers from her, so I need to use them up for my Japanese lessons. And then this one is from Tuli Plans, which is just breakfast, and I think that's about it. I really don't have that many other stickers, but I'm kind of trying not to pre-plan too much, because I found that in the past, if I pre-plan the week to too much detail, it almost always changes. Like 90% of the time my plans will change, and then I feel like I'm wasting the space because I just have to cross out plans, and then I don't have space to write my actual plans. So I'm kind of just going to take it a day at a time. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what's happening with you guys. I want to catch up with you. Let me know down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. This is Celina reporting from my room. Back to you, internet.